Hello everyone and welcome to World of Darkness news in a little bit of a more laid-back week. We only have two pieces of small news to share, so I will be joined later by Hadi to give you a little bit more of a bigger overview of Bloodstained Love and Blood Sigils and dive deep into the books. But first of all, news. Let's go! We're starting with the team that has brought Vampire the Masquerade to Montreal with Vampire the Masquerade chapters that had a very successful Kickstarter and absolutely ruled people's tables once it arrived in deliveries to our homes. I'm not sure if you received your chapters package yet. Let me know. What was your reaction after you saw it at first? My reaction was, how am I going to hold this home because the package is this big? I actually do have it under my desk. I'm not sure if I can pick it up. Let me try. You know what? Let's do it. I'm going to probably destroy my whole setup by doing this, but maybe I can pick it. Oh my goodness, it's so heavy. This is my chapters package, and it doesn't fit on any of my shelf, so I keep it under my desk. It's very heavy. It's actually like easily 20 kilos? I don't know. Or maybe less. Maybe I wouldn't pick up 20. Yeah, it's very heavy. And, oh my goodness. Yes. So, chapters. Chapters is a storyteller in the, in the box. And what it gives you is the opportunity to play either solo or in a team up to 4 other players as a lot of the clans in Vampire the Masquerade and basically have this sort of a story in which you start with the introductions, then go deeper, then basically kind of craft your own chronicle with the storyteller being tons and tons of cards inside of this box, which you can just basically pull out and read the dialogues, pick some choices. It's kind of like a video game if you would print everything and have it on little cards and make a non-linear branching story out of that. So it's actually a pretty, oh my god, I actually lost my breath for picking up this chapters box, and I train on the gym, so it's not like I'm a weakling, okay? I train, and this, oh my goodness, it's so big. So now it's coming back again with the definitive edition on Kickstarter, which is going to launch on February 20th on the Kickstarter platform. You can go to the Flyer social media and click the notification that you will be informed about this campaign coming. And this is going to give you even more stuff to your chapters. So you can either order it new if you haven't ordered it before, or if you are a returning backer, if you already have chapters and want to get even more stuff to play even bigger campaigns, then there will be an option for the returning backers as well. Flyers Games has been delivering beautiful and huge experiences, of course also working on a Werewolf the Apocalypse Retaliation, which is kind of like chapters but for werewolf. So this also has miniatures inside. It's just a lot of really beautiful content, and the illustration is absolutely gorgeous. I think one of my favorite parts of Flyers products is the art, which is just beautiful through and through. So yeah, do go to Flyers social media to sign up to get notified about Kickstarter launch on February 20th. I will be back here to let you know more about this campaign once it launches. And now I'm going to take a big breath and deliver you more news. And this one is about the Book of Nod Apocrypha. Have I pronounced this correctly? Apocrypha. Apocrypha. I don't know. It's not a word I use very often in English. I'm sorry. But the Book of Nod Apocrypha is the companion PDF, which actually consists of a lot of the texts and everything that you can find in Book of Nod Deluxe Edition in text form. But it's being basically transferred into this more accessible, both font-wise and just browsing-wise booklet. So people who have ordered their deluxe edition of Book of Nod received tons of awesome items, and among them this PDF, and now it is available separately. So if you do not want to buy a very expensive deluxe edition of the Book of Nod, you can still have the Apocrypha document for mere $12. It's available on the Renegade page. This is not a full-blown source book, like 100-something pages source book. It's a 40-something page, I believe. And it includes storyteller prompts and hooks to use the Book of Nod. It includes apocryphal text, which Aristotle de Laurent didn't include in his version of Book of Nod, text of kindred traditions and legal documents, as well as collected and new lore sheets, as well as discipline powers, rituals, and ceremonies. I do believe it's 2 discipline powers for blood sorcery, 1 ritual for blood sorcery, and then 2 oblivion ceremonies, plus a few lore sheets. Let me give you a full list of names, so you might get interested in some of them. We have the Book of Nod lore sheet, which was in one of the previous books, Gehenna Cults, Machinations of Solot, Servitor of Irad. I personally do really look forward to using Machinations of Solot in my chronicle because it's Tremere and Salubri only, and I happen to play Salubri, so I hope that I will be able to incorporate this one into my character. So yes, there's a lot of really useful stuff for those of you who want to explore more of the Book of Nod and use Book of Nod in your storytelling campaigns, in storytelling chronicles, in a little bit more of a deep way. So this Apocrypha, something that you might have been jealous of deluxe edition owners having, is now available widely to be accessible to more Vampire the Masquerade fans. And you can check it out on Renegade Store. It's not going to be released in the physical form outside of the Book of Nod Deluxe Edition, as far as we know right now. So this is the only way for you to grab it if you do not have the Deluxe Edition of Book of Nod. And we got some really cool videos and screenshots and photos of people showing us their Deluxe Edition of Book of Nod. You can check some of the unboxing on YouTube. It's actually super, super cool to see people getting these huge crates of stuff and opening to discover some vampire secrets. So I recommend to check it out. Tracy made a really cool, Miss Magitech made a really cool video that is, I believe, available on Renegade channel on YouTube, which we showed before on What News. That is a full-blown unboxing with every item taken out of the box and shown to the camera. So if you want a full preview of how it looks like, go there. All right, and I will be calling Hadi right now to give you a little bit more of the insights of the books. Let's check it out. I wonder if Hadi is awaiting me. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Beautiful. I can hear you as well. I will be showing you to folks who are watching us from the outside. Let me see. Oh my goodness, no, they cannot see you. What about now?
Oh no,
What about
the
now?
horror!
No, where are you? Why are you a gray box?
I'm in the abyss where I want to be, Azul Zombra.
There we go. Yes, you are in an abyss, but you're out of the abyss right now. Hey, choker sister.
I just want everyone to know, I said I was going to wear this choker because we were going to talk about bloodstained love, and then Alta's like, me too.
I was like,
I have a word for that in German. It's called Nachmache.
What is it? What does it mean, Nachmache? That I am
doing something after someone else because someone else did it first.
We say papugowanie in Polish, which means parroting.
Papugowanie.
Papugowanie. It means parroting someone. So you're a parrot, so you repeat what someone else did.
I love that. How do you say parrot in Polish? Say it again.
Papuga.
Papuga, auf Deutsch Papagei.
It's papagoja in Swedish, so it's actually funny. I don't know why it's parrot
Love
in English.
it.
All right, so we are going to go through stuff. I actually do have Bloodstained Love open now, so maybe we can start with this one.
Sure.
And I have it open in a place where which people really like and discussed a lot, which is the Merits and Flaws.
Yeah, okay, that's where I have it open too.
For a specific reason that I know that you wanted to talk about one thing that is inside in there.
Well, I'll talk about all the merits, but we only have so much time.
Yes, I'm going to actually, because this, oh my goodness, why did it break for me? I need to make this bigger and make sure that it's
I believe in you.
This. There we go. Because when I have my edge open, it actually hides you, so I have to window it.
That's fine. Hide me.
No, never. All right. So why did you want me to open on this page? I want to know.
Okay, so when Bloodstained Love came out, this is the thing that happens because I run a lot of private games, public games, so I have a really big Rolodex, because I'm old, I'm going to use the word Rolodex, of players. Yeah. And so whenever a new book comes out, I think within 15 minutes of it dropping, I'll start getting DMs of saying can I do this? Can I change this? Da 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 da. And I think, let's see, I have six players. And I think 5 of them messaged me, all one right after the other, asking if they can have the 2 masters flaw.
That's amazing.
Because almost all of them are blood bound to their sire in this particular thing.
Wow.
And they're like, but I want it twice.
Wow. So they
Yeah.
basically they're all masochists and they want double the suffering. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, the people who tend to be drawn to me as a storyteller are people who want to be heard emotionally in a safe space.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
yeah. They they
Uh,
they, they all wanted to take they're like, can I if I take the two masters flaw, can I get the up all night or false love? There was sort of a switch off between those.
which is very interesting because a lot of people cling, the very first thing they cling to is unbundable. We were just talking about it before the
We were
stream.
just talking about
That, yeah, I do have like my first V5 character was unbundable, but it's only because I was playing a Blood Leech and I was like, that will suck when I'm not
yeah,
unbundable. I have to take this
yeah.
one. So that's why I picked this. But you know what? Like the more I go into it, I feel like it's more also about meeting the storytellers that are just very considerate and very nice, and like the nicer people you meet in the fandom, the more you are likely to feel safe exploring a lot of the darker themes. And I feel more like comfortable like playing themes like Bonds right now with the people I know, because it's fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's such a super important point to bring to all this. Make sure that, whoever you're playing with, especially if you want to play with themes like this, that they're people that you trust, that have the safety tools in place, that you have a lot of open communication with about, desires, expectations, all those things, because that's so super important.
Yes, absolutely. But it's so funny that all of your players, except for one, wanted
Except for
to
one. Except for one. Just
except for
one.
one, I wanted to have this one because that's
Mhm.
great. All right, and I will now move to the one I want to recommend, which
Yes.
is okay. I have a confession to make at first though. When I open source books for any sort of a TTRPG ever, that's not only for World of Darkness, like literally everything I read, the last thing I read is the Chronicle example. Absolutely last. Like I do not like I usually just like go through everything first and then I go to the Chronicles like at the very end if I have
Same.
nothing else to read. Just because like I don't storytell much, and when I storytell I prefer to make my own stories. So it
Same.
just for me it's like yeah, but honestly I kind of like feel bad about it just because not only there's a lot of cool reads in these parts, like there's really cool elements that you can just incorporate in, but also some of them just are so fun once you get to them that
Mhm.
they kind of like make me want to start like immediately.
You should.
Yeah. And in
Give
Blood,
me a break.
I know. And in this book, the one that immediately caught my attention, I'm going to open my bookmarks right now, is the one called Chosen for the Bond. And let me just tell you that this one made me feel all the feels immediately. So I'm going to read out some of this to give you a general idea. No two domains are ruled in exactly the same way, and whenever a coterie enters a new territory, they may find a new set of norms and expectations waiting for them. Following many years of the beckoning, many domains have gotten new lords, some more modern than their elder predecessors, others with ideas that are quite archaic. In this story, the coterie arrives in a city where the prince controls the kindred population through a network of blood bonds, and where tradition demands that all who hope to stay for more than few nights must enter into blood marriages with members of the court. Now, what are your first thoughts, Hade?
Well, I'll tell you what my first thoughts were when you said this is what you want to talk about today.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very long time ago when you and I didn't know each other that well, not yet.
Yeah.
I ran a private game that I invited you to, you couldn't come to.
Yeah.
Speed dating in Elysium. Do you remember that?
Yes, of course. Absolutely. I remember
What
I was
part of
listening to it, I think, or
I
something.
don't remember if you were or not.
Yeah.
Part of it reminded me of that exact story that I told 4 years ago or something, because the blood bond thing, the end of it, because it was speed dating to the death.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of it, the blood bonding had to happen to whoever were the winners in
Yes.
order to get the boon from the prince. So that reminded me of this immediately. But the interesting thing here is the idea of this not necessarily giving into it, that the coterie have an option to, I don't know, take out the prince maybe, because were this me as a kindred, I probably wouldn't agree to this.
Yes, but I feel like there's a lot of really
And
cool
others are like, but I would.
because the beginning sounds like, oh, no one would agree to that. That's stupid. But now, like, let's twist it a little bit. Imagine this as a thriller movie in which you have like I think it's a common trope in thriller movies, or at least I watch a lot of thriller movies like that. Say Midsommar. Oh, that's a very good example. So you have a character that is, has some problems, right, in their life and in general, like in their relationships. Maybe you're a fledgling vampire who like doesn't have a sire, has a very bad relationship with a sire, and you go into this new place, in this case a domain that seems to be beautiful, inviting, very well governed, so like people seem to be happy, beautiful, dancing, enjoying on life to their fullest. But there is a price to pay, and the price to pay to belong in the community and to have the community and the safety network around you is you just have to have this little bond formed, and it kind of like there's a lot of thriller movies like this in which you kind of throw a protagonist into this community, which gives you a very big of a welcoming space, but they also do horrible things. Holy damn, maybe that's not a very good idea, but also I kind of crave having safety network around me. So yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you frame it like that, I think if you go into the story, I don't think this is a story I would maybe spring on anyone.
Yeah.
I think I would definitely like lay it out first.
Absolutely.
But if you create a story of a character, and specifically a player character has maybe, as you said, like an antagonistic relationship with their sire, blood bonding yourself to someone in this prince's court who has power, has influence that could protect you from your sire, to use that phrase, might be beneficial in the short term and even in the long term.
Yeah.
I do find it super interesting, because I believe further down here it says that, where is it? That it has to be a blood marriage, which I do find super interesting, because I think when I first read Bloodstained Love, I was like, oh, well, this makes sense. She wants people in her court to be loyal to her court, so they have to be blah, blah. But this is a blood marriage, meaning they have to be bonded to each other.
Yeah,
so like that adds a whole new layer.
Yes, but so there's a twist to this. So at the, like the general theme of, yes, sure, you may agree to be one of the court, but the blood winning has to happen. It's all good, and this is alone a very good idea for a chronicle, but you have the supporting characters part in here, which has a lot of extremely interesting archetypes of characters. Like if you read them out through, you will definitely find someone you would like to have as a companion in the video game. You would like to hang out with this person. Like there's someone to everyone's taste. And one of the potential complications is what if your character actually starts feeling something for them and they start to feel something towards you and want to escape together? That's so cool. Like I love this sort of a plot. Like you can either stay in the safety network, but you have to bond with each other in this artificial magical bond that is not going to be true love, even you do feel something to each other. Or you can be like, no, we want to have a true feeling, we want to have a true emotion, we don't want to stain our emotion with this magical bond, we want to break free. And like there's just so much potential here to tell a story.
There's a lot of potential here for a very like high level, social, emotional, and even tragic story that you could tell. Like I could see myself running this over like a 3-shot.
Yeah, and someone in chat actually gave a really cool idea. A coterie without two masters could blood bond each other in a daisy chain to trick the prince. Yes, I feel like the prince will be hard to trick because prince here has to approve of the marriages you want to take. So if there's a coterie that tries to do it with each other, I think that the prince would see through this, but maybe with a good persuasion check. You could actually
it does say about Prince Alexandrine that all the blood bonds lead back to her.
Yes, that is true. That's the prince is ultimately the last one on the list, and there's a lot of characters in there.
So she's remaking the pyramid inside of her court.
Yes, the pyramid of love.
Yeah, sure.
And there's just a lot of really cool stuff in this one to play. love matching games, for example, tearful goodbyes. You can of course have an attempt to overthrow Alexandrine. You can try to convince the people in the court that, hey, this is not a good idea in the end, let's break free. I feel like it would be really nice to peel over those layers of beauty and fun that they seem to be having, and find something really rotten within, and then be like, no, this is not going to slide. We're going to destroy the shit out of this place.
Yeah, I could see that happening from personal experience.
Yep. Yeah, and just in general, this seems to be one of these chronicles that I love the idea of. I feel like it's not the one to be really easily played in like conventions or stuff like that. Like, you need a good team to play this one. So I feel like I would play this with people that I already had experience with, or I know that they can handle, they have a similar sort of vibe of role playing. But it just seems super interesting. So yeah, I would recommend this one. That is my pick out of the book. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I definitely could see something I like to do in between seasons of shows that I run, or private games, as I like to do like holiday themed stuff. So I could definitely see myself running this for like Valentine's Day or something.
Sounds good. And now I want to jump to Blood Sigils, and I believe I am on page 81 right now. That is the page you recommended to be checked out. And so let me know when I should slide further.
Well, so I really like, so in Blood Sigils, there's so much to like. It's hard. I don't, it's bad because I don't really see things through a lens of like what a player is looking for. I always see things through a lens of what I'm looking for as a storyteller. Things that inspire me, things that I can take from, as we just read in Bloodstained Love, little chronicle things. So something that I do, and I've made a joke about it on my TikTok before, is that I don't play by raw. I can't do it. It doesn't work with my brain. I tried as much as possible, but I always have to do things the way that makes sense to me.
Awesome.
So
that's great.
My favorite thing about Blood Sigils really is the list of how you can write your own formulae if you're a thin blood, or how you can write your own blood sorcery if you're, if you have blood sorcery, Banu Hakim, Tremere, or any of the other clans who have taken it. And it's a little bit confusing for me because I'm not very smart. So when they ask you to do like real world science stuff, I get a little anxiety going when I try to do homebrew. But even just at the start of the page, one thing I love about it is the Wheel of Misfortune. So when you're making a formula, even I believe this is for when you're making a formula as a thin blood to give to a kindred, a full-blooded vampire, you have to make this this ritual roll.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite tables in the whole book.
It's so good. Yeah. It's so good. I love it. I love the idea of just puking it out and gaining hunger, or rolling a critical success, a 10, until the end of the next session. The vampire loses access to all disciplines and suffers injury like a thin blood.
Imagine Elder that just is really into getting some thin blood alchemy and suffers this. Yes.
End of the session. Could you imagine if you started at the top of the session? It reminds me of Oblivion stuff where, if you roll a 1 or a 10, you get a stain. So it's just like here, if you roll a 1 or a 10, you're not going to have a good time.
I wonder if
in the Wheel of Misfortune.
The kind of a storyteller that I am, because I would basically, if that would be a part of my game, I would just overrun the die result and I would make it an automatic critical if that would be a situation where Fimblet tries to, like an elder wants something from a Fimblet really badly. And I'll be like, okay, let's go with the worst consequence possible. It's gonna be fun.
I don't know. Well, it would depend. I don't know. I do rely a lot on dice rolls. I tend to not fudge my dice rolls, as anyone who's played with me can attest, because I usually show the dice rolls.
Okay. No, I think I would like, this would be a narrative choice. Like, sorry, but we have to do something here to put that elder in a little bit of a ooh, I have to depend on my cutlery right now. Ooh, that'd be really interesting.
I think in lots of those cases when there is something going on in a game and my players go, I really need this to happen. What can I do? Because I always say, now it's time to open negotiations. I always say that. So they'll say, what can I do to make this happen for me? And I will say, usually I'll offer them a devil's bargain in some way, where I'll let them have what they want now, but at a cost later.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's cool. I think that Jason does it similarly as well.
Jason does do stuff like that. I think Kareem also did what was it? He did a lot of at a cost stuff, I think, as well in Vain Pursuit.
Yes, but he also
Winning at a cost.
But he also fudged the things narratively to make stuff worse for us. Like all your backgrounds blow up in the first
I know.
session.
I know. I couldn't.
Everything
I'm not
that you
even. I'm not
crafted on your
that
character
bad.
sheet for the past 2 days is gone. Hello.
No, I'm not that bad. I couldn't even.
So yeah, but this is really cool. I love the general description of how to create your own blood sorcery, the general advice on how to make your own blood sorcery. And there was like one review I've read on Twitter actually, which was really heartwarming about this book, where someone who apparently has more knowledge of science, which I also do not have a lot of knowledge of, like actual lab science, was like, usually in fictional settings, lab stuff is very really written and realistic. But they read this book and they were like, this is great, because this actually feels like, there's some magic, of course, but it feels like lab work in a lot of ways.
Yeah, they're encouraging you to like really like think about the formula, whether it's blood sorcery or thin blood alchemy, to really think about the formula that you want for your game, and whether you want it as a player or a storyteller, and to really think about like, okay, well, if you want, let's like for example, I can't remember the name of the thin blood alchemy formula, the one where you can wake up vampires in torpor. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah. I know.
Like they want you, like the description has like using melatonin and Adderall and things that would actually like and then like something to wake them up. So it's like this interesting balance of things that like make you sleepy, but also then things that would wake you up, and like methamphetamine or something is the other ingredient, whatever.
And of course, in general, I do love homebrewing as well, but homebrewing is always scary because you're not sure if you're. It's all about game design, right? And you like not everyone's a game designer, and also not everyone always has a good brain for game design. Like even game designers don't have a good brain for game design most of the days. So having a set of rules to just basically a checklist to go through and be like, okay, so do I have the right effect? Is the resonance thematic enough? Is this on point? Is the dot amount good? And then you have everything in this book that is going to give you pinpoints for that, which is really good.
And I am actively using this book in a game I'm going to be running soon, because I need some things that aren't in 5th edition, and so I'm actually using it to make them for the game. So I'm very excited.
Yes, that's awesome. I really like it. I am going to jump to my section right now that I would like to recommend, which is actually pretty long.
You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me which one it was.
I think I did. I wanted to talk about trends, because I like trends. Get it?
Oh,
get
yeah,
it? Get it?
You did tell me that. I remember now.
Anyway, this is a pretty long section, but it's probably one of my favorite sections in the book, just in general because of the game design perspective. So I come from a video game background, and because of this, I often think about a lot of like the situations at the tables as well, or at the board games as just video game design, basically. So which is not that much different, really. It just depends, on the medium. But people just, have to have fun over the course of time that is sprinkled with challenge and that is sprinkled with enough complications to make it exciting, right? So that's the complete basic of game design. And making the scene is basically that, but for crafting your own bloodcraft scene at your table. And this is something that might not be useful for every single chronicle, but if you want to base your chronicle, let's say around thin blood or around blood sorcery users or around people who trade stuff in the world of Kindred, this section is a godsend. It's just so good. So my favorite part of this section, I'm going to actually go through. This is the relationship maps basically, and the kind of scene maps that you can craft. But I will go to the section that is called trends. And there we go. Okay, it's actually above in here. So, yes.
I'm trying to follow. I swear.
Okay, so this is trends. I'm going to...
Okay, so...
Yes, trends, yes. So, Basically, trends is a very simple game design principle that you can just sketch out before your chronicle starts, that is going to set up in general. It's kind of similar if you played Hunter the Reckoning and you have the general danger situation, or some kind of a heat, and this is in general it's called heat in this game. You establish three main topics or three main conflicts or three main things to solve in your scene, or this can be not necessarily things to solve, but just things happening in your Bloodcraft scene, and you note them down on a paper like this. So the Deep Trouble is the name of the chronicle, and then you have the legacy of some kind of a vampire. I'm not going to go into details in here. Some sort of
Salieri, like from Mozart. Oh no, is that something else?
I don't know. I don't remember the details of this particular example, but I remember Sienna is, for example, like they think that Sienna is working with Sabat. So what do we do with Sienna? And these are like the three trends, three things that are being talked about in the scene, or three things that are happening in the scene right now. And there is basically a heat and change and a cooldown happening to them, which you establish similarly to danger level in Hunter. So you just mark them up, mark them down, depending on things that are happening in your game. So for example, there's a very simple table of sources of heat damage. You have a passage of time. Trend is a major plot element during session. Players Coterie actively undermines Trend and succeeds at their goal that session. Trend focus is destroyed, fully disgraced, or meets final death. So you basically add heat damage, and there are various consequences that can happen here, depending of course on your chronicle and the trends themselves, but it's a really interesting sort of a way to quickly design what you plan to do with your coterie, or what is going to happen with your coterie during the session, if it's a little bit more open-ended. How I think about it is a little bit like an economical video game. Like, think about games in which you have to acquire resources, you're building up your legacy, sort of a thing, which longer Chronicles of Vampire can be similar, in which you are trying to climb on the political ladder of a Camarilla, for example. But in the Bloodcraft scene, you're trying to establish your domain, you're trying to establish your resources, your set of connections, and here's how you can just do it while adding very easily complications and things that are going to potentially ruin it for people in the right moments. So it's a really cool sort of a framework to work in chronicle wise, and I think it's a really cool framework for a video game as well, so that's why I love it.
Yeah, this is a lot more I sort of do a similar thing, but this is a lot more sophisticated. I should do it like this.
Yes.
instead of my little sticky notes that I keep everywhere.
And also it's one of these things, and Blood Sigils is full of that stuff, by the way.
Yeah.
Blood Sigils is full of things that are written in this book specifically for blood sorcery, blood trading, yada yada, but would work very well in other sort of motives and settings and themes. So like this would work well for political Camarilla campaign as well, just like change the theme. So there's a lot of things in here that you can, you establish your own domain, for example. You are in a domain where there is no leadership, and you can use the heat method and trends method in here as well, just as let's keep this small town to ourselves. I feel like it's just really fun. And there's a lot of like advice in here on how to do this. By the way, this art is so good in this book. Like,
I was just looking at it. I was just looking at it, but I scrolled all the way down. I was like, oh, I love it. That's hot.
So I recommend this part. You may want to skip it if you feel like, yeah, I'm not going to make a chronicle that is around like oriented around the blood trade, but I still think it's very useful, even if you don't. So that's my thing. What do you think?
No, sorry. I was just gonna say, maybe you can look really quick, or maybe you know off the top of your head. Is Viscera Garden in Blood Sigils? Is that where that comes from?
Visceral Garden? That sounds like a
Viscera Garden.
Viscera Garden. That sounds like a Bahari bar.
I think so. Yeah. Because I just know that I just know.
Yes, it's there.
I was reading it the other day.
Yes, it is there. I just
okay, good. Yeah. I was reading it the other day.
Look at this art.
I know. It's plants that can eat bodies. I love it.
I love plants that can eat bodies. That's one of my favorite things.
It reminds me of Little Shop of Horrors, if you know what that is.
Do I know? I don't think I know Little Shop of
Horrors. Oh, you don't know Little Shop of Horrors? I will tell you everything about it.
Please tell me everything about it. All right.
Feed me Seymour, exactly. Just like right in there.
So anyway, yes, Bloodstained Love, Blood Sigils. I think two very different books, but also similar in ways that you wouldn't guess. I think one of the similarities of both of these books is kind of like some of that plot hooking or chronicle design ideas that you can implement from both of them, depending on what you want to do in a chronicle. So that's I think is what combines these two books, but Blood Sigils is way more mechanical driven, while Bloodstained Love is way more narrative driven, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But but both like really important. There's so much that goes, and I can only, again, speaking as running a chronicle, there's so much that goes into running a chronicle. Having lots of different sources to pull from, I cannot stress how important and crucial it is to running a really well-rounded story.
Yes, definitely. And it's not an easy thing to learn. I remember how much I was afraid and kind of struggling when I tried to organize a chronicle that would only last for a very short amount of time. So that was with Hunter Garage. I was like, I really want to end this in 4 episodes max.
You were stressed?
I was so stressed because
Really?
I never contained a story in a like a tabletop RPG chronicle in a short span of time. I was always kind of open ended. I didn't have like a constraint. So I was very, very stressed out that I would design it to be too long. Because a lot of people struggle with this, for example, in one-shots. A lot of one-shots end abruptly because you have only like 3.5 hours where people can sit down and enjoy it, but you have to like tell a story that is confined to this time. So it's very hard to do. So I was looking around for so many like tips and tricks from more experienced storytellers on how to contain this, because I was so afraid I won't. But it's not that hard actually. Like you just have to plan it out well.
No, you did a great job with Hunter's Garage. I enjoyed it immensely.
Thank you.
Goldie lived, so that's all I could have asked for, really.
I think like you're very good at that planning sort of like things in increments of time, and I never like saw your or heard your storytelling that you seemed like you were running out of time, and I do hear it a lot from other storytellers, so it's actually
hasn't happened
skill.
Yet.
It's a big skill to have. I think it's very hard. All right.
It's just the hamsters crashing around in my brain. That's all it is.
I'm wondering if we have time to go for the spotlight today. Do you think so? Because we have
we have like 15 minutes. We can speed it.
All right.
We can power through it.
Let's do it. Let's check out.
How did you know I filled out the board? I didn't even tell you that.
No, I checked it.
Okay. Well, you did tell me you checked it.
No, I checked the beautiful things.
Normally, I tell you.
I'm sorry, but I checked it because I always check the beautiful things that you show. All right, let's jump into it and see what we have in here. Starting with H9 illustrations, I believe. Yes.
New challenge achieved, Palette Dirty by Vampire the Masquerade for the Toreador clan. And I believe this is using the Toreador palette, I believe, that you came up with the palette stuff.
Yeah, it's a very similar palette, and it's also beautiful. Like every single thing painted with the shades of pink and violet, just and the super intense one on the earrings and in the eyes, just beautiful. Love it, love it, love it.
Love it so much. Gorgeous.
All right, and we have Dream Luga.
Yeah, Dim, we've shared their art many times here on the channel. And Daisy's sire hasn't told her much, only that he has powerful enemies she must be aware of. When his enemies found him, Daisy was able to escape. For 12 years, she believed that she was an ordinary thin blood with no special talents, but one day something unexpected happened.
Wow, that's so cool. And
I love the mirror. I love the mirror thing. Always love that.
The mirror thing is so good. Also, from what I believe, I hope I'm right, but Dream Luga is a Ukrainian artist who is posting a lot of stuff on their Twitter and on Reddit and other social media platforms. So, definitely going through some hard times. So definitely go and give him some love to their art, because that's always super appreciated. And now we go to Matt Stormcrow.
This is a little long. I apologize. I didn't know we were gonna speed run through.
No, we're not going to speed run super much. It's fine. We can go over time. But Vampire players, should they await Matt's usual snark in here?
Of course, obviously.
Okay, let's go.
Obviously.
Oh, sorry. Let's go again.
We're vampire players. Of course our daddy issues become our sire's entire personality. We're vampire players. Of course we're going to test how flammable Elysium is. We're vampire players. We've researched exactly how easy it is to get your hands on Dragon's Breath around. We're vampire players. Of course we're all freedom-loving anarchists until we're in charge. We're vampire players. We assure you the crying is the fun part. We're vampire players. We spent more time in nightclubs in game than we have in real life.
Yes.
We're vampire players. We all know the seventh tradition is don't get caught. We're vampire players. We're always surprised when our favorite NPC is lying to us. We're vampire players. We're surprised when our least favorite NPC is telling the truth. We're vampire players. We ignore the fact that NPCs are supposed to be called SPCs. All of us do.
Yes.
We're vampire players. We figure out how to make blood food even though it's nowhere in the rule. We're vampire players. We think social status is just a number. We're vampire players. We know that any position worth getting is a position worth abusing. We're
Which one is the most relatable to you?
Well, I can't hear it on my end, so I don't remember them all. But I know at one of them he talks about sire issues or daddy issues, something to that effect, right?
Yes, yes.
That one.
For me, I love we are always the freedom-loving anarchist until we are in a position of power.
Yeah.
All of my vampire characters, no, I'm a good person, right?
There
No,
was
they're
the
not.
comments of that video were very much like, Matt being too loud.
Yes, exactly. This is great. By the way, Matt just drops the truth bombs all the time on TikTok, so
Pretty
I really
much.
recommend to check it out. It's just full of very good content.
Yeah.
And never trust an oracle on Tumblr, I believe. Yeah.
Yep. We've featured them quite a few times. They've done a lot of Eva cosplays and other things. But I thought you would enjoy this. My greatest wins in Blood Hunt. When a Tremere fell out of the sky straight into the harbor and thus a shark's mouth.
Yes.
Throwing a sewer bomb, which I'm sure you've had that one. Throwing a sewer bomb down onto 3 people and killing all of them. But that's what you get for all grouping up and not checking that everyone is left.
You do not mess with a Nosferatu in this game. That's just the main rule. Like I always.
You would know.
I
That's what who mains Nosferatu.
I always play the Nosferatu. You just do like. The thing about this game is every Nosferatu could technically be me. So if you see a Nosferatu, run or come to me. I will just happily,
Or come to me.
I will happily.
I will make
entertain
it quick.
I actually no. I'm slacking. I haven't played Blood Hunt in a bit. I admit openly. It's mainly because my playing partner is not playing with me, so I have to slap them into.
Well, you're playing because they're playing Lethal Company.
They're playing. No, I don't think they're playing Lethal Company anymore. Like we
No,
stopped playing Lethal.
no, it was World War Z, right?
Yeah, something like that. I
Yeah.
know, but yeah, I also spent way too much time in Lethal Company recently, so that was also my bad. But I definitely want to go back to Blood Hunt and kick some asses. So I might do it. I might do it on stream. We'll see. All right, we have Jeremiah McCoy.
Also, a funny. Does a lot of good videos on TikTok. Most VTM players are really there for the dating sim aspects.
Change my mind. No, I mean, I won't.
I won't change your mind because I'm there for that.
I won't, but people are confusing what dating sims are, because if you haven't played dating sims, you probably do not know how much drama, tragedy, and pain most of them involve, which is exactly why I play Vampire the Masquerade.
Dream Daddy. Go play Dream Daddy. You'll see.
Go play. Oh my god, Amnesia was one of my favorite ones, but that one had one route that was like really, really like really bad. And the issue with Japanese or a lot of Korean and Japanese visual novels have that issue. They do not have content warnings, so you just jump in and you're like, oh my. So I recommend maybe read it up a little bit before you jump into this, because.
But I play Vampire the Masquerade to flirt with all of my friends as the storyteller, and then they flirt with each other, and it's just a game of us flirting and being blood-sucking monsters.
Yeah, I just like, I want to experience sad romantic situations. By the way, my Salubri is breaking up, I think, today.
By the way, my Salubri's going through a breakup, everyone.
Yes, today. I think I'm breaking up with the Malkavian, so wish me luck. It's gonna be fun. Yeah.
You're so funny.
It's God. Anyway, we go to Nina XP 1990. Hey, my year. Let's go.
Yeah. Hand painted some bookmarks as a last year's gift for our V5 group, and I thought these were so beautiful. Hand painted.
That's so gorgeous, all of them. Look at the different lips too, and the lipsticks.
Yeah.
Okay, which one
I think
is...
they borrowed from that image that was going around of like the different clans and what types of fangs they would have.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
that's borrowed from.
yeah. Which one would you pick if you had to pick one?
If I had to pick one,
Yeah.
probably. Oh, that's so hard because I really like the Samitsi one with the purple eye.
Yeah.
But probably the Hikata one.
Okay. I kind of wanted the Finblood one. I think it's beautiful, and the
It
brand
is, yeah.
on the
They're all really
hand.
nice.
But I also want to say the Bruja
The
one
cat.
is like so 2000s coded.
Yeah.
You know, with the cat and the lips and blood and the little sparkle. It's like, you know, like kind of early emo sort of a vibe, you know? Like
Yeah,
with
like
this,
Emily Black. Do you remember Emily Black? No, because I'm older than
no.
you.
Emily Black? Maybe I do. Something like...
Someone in the who's as old as me. Remember Emily Black for
I'm
me,
not sure if
please.
this is a saying in English, but in Polish we say a bell.
Look, so Laura does.
in Polish we say the bell rings, but we do not know in which church. So that's what happens.
Oh, I love that.
It's a
I love
pretty poetic
that.
saying, isn't it? I kinda
That's
like it.
amazing.
Right, and now we go to... Oh no, we don't have the username. What's
Oh
that?
no, I cut it off.
Oh, how could you?
I know that happened. Something on Reddit. I think the way they changed it. Sometimes I miss the top part.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Well,
We have
it's done by
enough
Slow.
info in it. It's fine. We have enough info.
Well, I hustle to prepare our upcoming vampire LARP ball, Clan Toreador, at the New Year's Ball of the Domain of Heidelberg, in January 2023. Heidelberg. I live right next to Heidelberg. It's
really?
like 20 minutes away from where I am, and this particular troop is actually in my home city of Karlsruhe. They just do, because Heidelberg has like a castle that they do it in, and I'm like, should I go?
Maybe you
Should I
should
check it
go.
out?
Maybe like look at them. They're so beautiful.
Should I go check it out?
I think you should check it out. I think you should go.
But they look amazing.
They look
honestly.
amazing. It looks so fun.
They're too fancy for me. I can't roll up there. They're way too fancy for me.
It's fine. Just
They kick me out immediately.
play a fledgling. Pretend you don't know anything about vampire. It's gonna be great. I would love to do that. Like, just pretend I do not know. Like, I don't know, wear some makeup, wear a wig, and just go to a LARP and pretend I know.
This is the land of Berghane, you know. So like, they pick me up by the scruff of my neck and throw me out like a dog, and it would be amazing. But they wouldn't let me.
I think it would be great. I think you'll have a lot of fun. This is so beautiful, by the way. I think you should go and you should let me know everything that happened there.
I'm telling you, they never let me in. I look too much like a ragamuffin.
All right, we have Rage Moose. Oh my god, French, of course.
Yes, French.
French. Yes, of course.
Porte-monnaie.
I unofficially can speak French, but no, I officially can speak French, but I unofficially cannot. So let's check it out.
The extra time with you is a punishment.
I mean, you're having fun.
Yeah, you're right. There's something truly wrong with his brain.
Another case cracked! Sounds thrilling and potentially simultaneously very boring.
It's a good one.
The extra time with you is a punishment.
I mean, you're having fun.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right. That's my favorite one. That's so good.
I enjoy Crafty Mirage's Malkavian a lot.
I love their looks in this video. It's so pretty. And I love the frog hat. I kind of want it. I would unironically wear it around.
Your Salubri should have a frog hat.
Oh my goodness. He would hate
Oh my-
it. He's so...
He hate it. I should give him one.
He has a stick up his ass that is so bad. Like, he's so bad. Everything that is fun, he just hates. And he got a fox recently for some reason. He got a pet fox and he hates it. But it's his pet now. So he just hangs around with a cute fox. And
Sure.
he hates it. I will give him a frog hat.
Oh, apparently Crafty Mirage made the hat themselves.
Oh my goodness, it's so cute. I love it.
Yeah.
And now we go to S Vampira. Oh wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, your feelings when you see this. If they were my feelings when I saw this, please tell me your feelings.
And there was only one vampire horse. Click on the image for better quality. Yo, fledgling. My feelings are very, very like deep and sad, but I feel like they are kind of running away from something. Is that the feeling you have?
That the feeling I had was this is something forbidden or, frowned upon, and they are running away, and it's something romantic and tragic, and I want it.
Yes.
Lord, I've seen what you've given other people, and I want this for me.
Yes, exactly. I do want to have a gorgeous vampire man taking me on his horse for the forbidden journey of unlife.
Come on. Is there something wrong with me and you as well?
No, it's beautiful. I think it's a great dream to have, We can always
Yeah.
strive to be kidnapped by a cowboy vampire under our
Gonna manifest that for 2024, I guess.
That's a mood. Oh my goodness. And I love the red sun or moon actually, just like shining on the cape and the red clouds in the background. Just like the colors here are so good.
And the gold
Beautiful.
horse as well with the red eyes.
Yes. Wait, it's a girl. I mean, I don't know the gender of the rider, but that's
Is
even
it?
hotter.
Is it? How do you
I
know
mean,
that?
look, like we'll zoom in. I feel like from the curvature of the body and from the face, it kind of maybe looks like a girl.
Oh, I thought maybe it was in the description. I don't know.
I
But
don't
I don't care.
know.
It's romantic.
But Sapphic cowboys, cowboy vampires running into the night because
Now
their
you
love is
can't put
forbidden.
the idea of sapphic cowboys. You can't put the idea of sapphic vampire cowboys in my head, Outstar. I have a
It's
million
happening.
games to run
It's
already.
happening right now. It is in your head already. We're doing this. It just got so much better. Holy damn. It's
Outrageous. How dare you?
wow. Oh my goodness. Speaking of better, this is so good. Cosmic Desire, of course.
Yeah.
I never.
We love their stuff.
So whenever I see Cosmic Desire, I'm like, this is another person because there are so many amazing
Yes.
cosplays that they do. Like it just so good.
Yes. And this is a Tremere cosplay that they're doing. And look at the blood effects and the like I don't even know, like the foggy green effects over the top.
Yes.
I love it so
I
much.
specifically love how it's all kind of green except for the super strong red blood, super strong pink lipstick, and the blue makeup. Like that's I live for it. The combo is just everything. It's super beautiful.
I think Pyro should not be allowed in this chat because they make me laugh too much.
It
That I
would
can't,
have,
I can't concentrate
I'm
on
going to read it
anything.
out for you two people. It would have been so funny if Astor had zoomed in on the horse's face when they were trying to figure out the gender. Yes, I know. But one thing I want to zoom in here is the clothing. Do you see the Camarilla Ang on the clothes?
No, I didn't. I missed it entirely, and I blame Pyro for the
Is-
whole thing.
Is this a real piece of clothing or is this like a
I have no
collage
idea.
thing?
You're asking the wrong person. It looks real though.
Because if it's real, I want it. I want it for me.
Yes. Why is there not someone in
Wow.
Sweden making you custom World of Darkness outfits?
No, but this is so gorgeous. Like, imagine just this outfit for Elysium. That would be so good. And wow, from Nod Draws from Instagram, I believe.
Yes.
And
So
Itaewon by Night, of course.
yeah, Itaewon by Night, exactly.
Yeah.
Plays Viridian Song in Itaewon by Night adventure. And this is just some art that they did of the cover of their character on cover of Forbes, and I thought that was really cool. I wish I had the talent because I would draw my
Super
players' characters all the time, but I don't.
This is so cool. And by the way, very much recommend Itaewon by Night, Asian run Korean role-playing chronicle of Vampire the Masquerade. Very
Takes
dark.
place in Seoul, South Korea.
Yes, very, and Itaewon in general is like I read a little bit on Itaewon recently because I was just watching some vlogs from there, and it seems to be a super cool area of Seoul. That's basically a district. There's a lot of like good restaurants in there, a lot of like night places to hang out, and it just seems to be a really interesting place. And yeah, I just feel like it's great if you have locals with the knowledge about the area who are running chronicles in there and telling you the first-hand stories. And now we go to a clown in a tree who made clown.
Now we go to and it's like a weird cutaway. And now we go to a cloud in a tree.
I love nicknames, but holy damn, this is so hard to do with food coloring.
Yeah, I saw this and I was like, why haven't I done this? And then I remembered no way. I couldn't do this without stencil work.
I would never do this because I would be sad to eat them, and the point of cupcakes is to consume them immediately after taking them from the oven when they're still hot. So, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do this because I would be too
You
sad.
don't eat hot cupcakes.
I do.
Ew.
I do eat like all
Hot
the
muffins, maybe.
No, like maybe yeah, no, but almost everything that you take out of the oven is better than unless it's a cheesecake. Like you leave a cheesecake alone, but everything else you just eat.
Not a
immediately.
cupcake. The frosting wouldn't taste very good hot.
I don't make a lot of things with frostings. Yeah, maybe that's the reason. I don't know.
Yeah. Cupcakes is frosting, muffins no frosting.
Yeah, maybe you're right. You yes, but still, I kind of no. Eating this would be sad because it's so beautiful. Like,
But I had a thought like I should make these and bring them to you.
I wanted to ask you a question, which clan would you eat? But I'm not going to ask you this question. I'm going to go to Hikata.
Ventru first. Delicious.
And let's check it out. Oh, wait, I am muted.
You were never hard to love. You were just getting harder to manipulate.
Whoa.
You were never hard to love. You were just getting harder to manipulate.
What a strong quote. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. A Hikata therapist, can you imagine?
Yes. Yes, I can.
I feel like wouldn't they be a little bit too like concerned about the topics of your potential death or deaths in your family, or how did people die, or what kind of deaths you've encountered in your own life that would make you
I think having a Hikata be a therapist would be a perfect way to deal with like clan compulsions and, morbidity, or even for feeding. I'm trying to remember the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
Feeding one, if you have one who's like, someone maybe who doesn't want, get into really dark territory with Hikata, right?
Mm-hmm.
As someone who's prepping a Hikata crawl, you can get really dark, but someone maybe who doesn't want to continue going, wants to check out of, this mortal coil, could be someone you could feed off of, because that's part of their predatory exclusion.
Yeah.
Exclusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hikata can get. I would never recommend like a Hikata Chronicle for like beginner players of Vampire the Masquerade, because it can get. I'm learning it can get really, really dark, and you really need all the good stuff in place to play it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Hikata in general is like, depending on how you, of course, interpret them, it can be a more advanced clan. For beginners, it may not be the best pick. I feel like it's doable, but it just takes cutting some themes and maybe enhancing the others, depending on the player.
Absolutely. Yeah. You have to, everything is a negotiation, everything is communication with what your players want.
Yes. And now we go to Bitter Orange with the X.
You ever feel an anger so potent you almost frenzy? Bruja, don't answer. You guys are a stub toe away from frenzy all the time. I'm kidding about the Bruja, but from my understanding, they really are a stub toe short of killing everyone in the immediate area. Agree?
Not wrong, but also stereotypical. And how could you? And also, how could you hurt me this way? But also not wrong. Yeah, I guess.
How dare you hold up a mirror to me?
Yeah, like very rude of you, very insensitive of you to tell me these things. There was this one really cool note I made recently. I made a lot of notes for like random social media shitposting out of the things I read. And one thing I read recently was, it was more or less, why are you this insensitive? How insensitive of you to ask me these questions? Why do you look so pale? Why are your fangs so pointy? Like, are you even alive? Like, leave me alone. So yes, it's this kind of a vibe. I love it. And now we go to Storyteller's Vault from Tatiana. Oh yeah, of course, with the really cool Best of Whatever photography pack.
Yeah, so Tati and Daniel did every day of Whatever, so much stuff. We shared probably most of it, if not all of it, here on the Vamily Spotlight. And now you can get it and use it in your games as inspiration. And you should, because it's fantastic.
Yes, and I keep telling people we are slowly reaching February. Do remember, if you're creating stuff for Storyteller's Vault, and if your Storyteller's Vault source books contain any AI-generated artworks, you should swap it with something else. We are definitely going to look more closely at the source books that are there, that are using art that you may not have the copyright rights to use, which includes generative AI. And one of the things I recommend when people come to me and are like, but I cannot afford an artist, then there's a lot of really cool, either free or cheap resources you can use online. You can go to Pexels, which has tons of free artworks. And most importantly, on Storyteller's Vault, you can go to resources and community resources. And not only do you have official World of Darkness art packs that you can use completely for free, but also there's tons of beautiful stuff like this where people are making custom gorgeous artworks, and it's just like it's, you know, something that I'm really happy of opening every Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition book, checking the credits page and seeing people from all over the world contributing to these books. And isn't it just awesome to have like contributors from so many places that can just give you some of their art and kind of a different sort of a perspective from different cities. I feel like Tati and the photographer that Tati is working with, I don't know what's the name. There we go, Daniel Dalmeida. They both are just such a great duo, and they make awesome stuff that is very V5 in theme and just feels like you could put it straight in the core book. So
Absolutely.
I very much recommend it. Sorry for going on a tangent, but I think it's important.
No,
and,
it's an important tangent.
yes.
Please go on it.
Yes,
Choo
and
choo choo.
and do go. I think Daniel has either an Instagram, or I remember checking the social media of Daniel to check more of these photos, and they're just gorgeous, beautiful. Someone was, even from a team, was asking me, hey, where is Tati taking these pictures from? Like, are they stock pictures or something? I'm like, no. Like, actually, there's a real Brazilian photographer who is working with Tati, who's taking these pictures on the streets of their city, and they're putting this in the book.
Is it not Sao Paulo?
I think it's Sao Paulo, but I'm not really sure, so I didn't want to say. Might be.
If it's not, apologies.
Yeah, but
because there's others like Fig and Move and stuff who are also doing stuff in Sao Paulo.
Yes, it's really, really cool. All right, so now we go to LA by night, New York by night, and Seattle by night with this one. I've seen this before from Rose. Yeah.
Yes. I thought this was amazing because it's really, really true. Because all four of them have really weird, like wildly different perspectives on life, and this is exactly what they must all think every night.
Yes. These people are so weird. Thank God I'm the only normal person here. That's all my.
I mean, really wildly different as the chronicle goes on.
That's also most of my vampire characters, except I guess for my Finbot, who'd be just like, who would not have these deep of thoughts. Like that would be too deep for him. But everyone else would definitely feel that.
I believe you.
I love him. I mean, that's basically their dynamic, right? Yes, Rosa Reed.
Yes. Yeah.
I miss them. I want them back.
I miss them too. You're telling me you miss them? You met
Jason?
me?
Can we punch Jason? Are we gonna punch Jason?
I would never punch Jason. I would give him a stern talking to though.
Stern poke in the nose. And now we go to potentially an art block with dress pants. Ooh.
Dress pants. This is from season 4, episode 6.
And I love the caption. He's an icon. He's a legend. He is the moment.
He is the moment. Yeah, because the thing was dress pants. The what is the word? Dress code was dress pants, and so he wore a dress and pants under the dress, which makes dress pants. Perfect.
Love
Perfect.
it.
Malkavian logic.
What a beautiful board of gorgeous things. Thank you so much, Hedy, for joining me for a longer discussion today. I hope that folks enjoyed it. I liked it a lot, but I always like talking to you. So that's...
Yeah, I know.
I know.
I know you like talking to me.
How la sombra of you. Yeah, I know.
I'm joking. We talk every day, all day long. Every day we talk.
Yeah, I know. I wish everyone to have this sort of energy in 2024.
Yes.
I will live by this energy as well. Thank you, Hedy, and have a great week. See
you
you later. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.
And thank you so much for those of you who are watching us on YouTube. I will be jumping to the Twitch only room right now, and I will be seeing you next week with more World of Darkness news. Don't get lost in the night, and goodbye.